Hi everyone, my name is Amy Metcalf and I'm a professor in the Department of Educational Studies at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver campus, where we are situated on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Musqueam people. This is a short video to describe the higher education graduate programs following off an information session we had in December 2021. As an overview of the session, we're going to discuss the higher education graduate programs and EDST at UBC, specifically the Masters of Education program in higher education and the Graduate Certificate in higher education. Both of these programs have an upcoming application deadline for a September 2022 start. We'll discuss the core courses and electives and where you can find more information about admissions requirements, program fees, and contact information for our program. In the Department of Educational Studies at UBC, we offer a variety of graduate programs. Many of these intersect directly with the topic of higher education, as well as specifically higher education degree programs. For doctoral students, people interested in a PhD or an EDD, we have two programs, the PhD in Educational Studies and the EDD in Educational Leadership and Policy, both of which you can pursue higher education topics for your research and dissertations. In the Masters of Arts in Educational Studies program, we have a concentration in higher education that permits students to take core courses in higher education, as well as to work on higher education research topics for their master's thesis. In our Masters of Education program, the MEd programs, we have a specific MEd in higher education studies, and these are the core courses that we're going to speak about today, as well as a graduate certificate in higher education that can lead into or transfer into the MEd programs as well. Program requirements for the MEd in higher education are pretty open, and we're very glad to see that students are able to coordinate with their academic advisors to create a basically a completely tailored program to their interests and career objectives. The required courses for the program are 9 credits of these 3 courses, EDST 511, 521, and 536, plus a 3-credit research methods course, such as EDUC 500, 545, 546, or 571. And you can find out more about what these courses entail on our departmental website. The electives then are coordinated for each student with their academic advisor, and you can take program courses within higher education. We have some electives, or you can take courses in the Department of Educational Studies, the Faculty of Education, or throughout the university with the permission of the instructor. And those are a really great opportunity for students to explore topics that are meaningful to them, relate to their career interests or their intellectual activity. We offer an opportunity for students to either take an additional course, an additional elective, or to pursue a graduating paper, which would be an independent scholarly project that they do towards the end of their program in coordination with their graduating paper supervisor. The Graduate Certificate in Higher Education is a new program, and it offers an opportunity for students to take a few courses and to decide if this is perhaps an area that they'd like to pursue for a full master's degree, or if it's something that they want to add on to an existing bachelor's or master's program. Perhaps you're working in higher education studies and higher education field, and you'd like to further your studies, but taking on a full master's at the moment is a little bit much. And so this provides an opportunity to supplement your professional development. And many students take this one course at a time over 1 or 2 years. The credits for this course, there's 12 credits, 4 courses. They are EDST 493, 511, 521, and 536. These core courses are listed here. So the first 3 courses are the ones that are required for the the MEd in higher education, as well as the MA concentration in higher education. And then for the graduate certificate, you'll also take 493, which is also listed here as an elective for the other master's programs. So the 493 is an introduction to the study of higher education. This course is online, and it provides an opportunity for students to interact with other students taking courses at UBC, and for instance, some of our other diploma programs or certificate programs, but many of our graduate students also take this as an elective. The other courses in the program concentrations for higher education include organization and administration of higher education, where we learn about topics such as governance and sort of the policy and other aspects of organizational studies related to higher education. We have a course called Foundations of Higher Education, which is interested in topics related to the history, philosophy, and theory of higher education. And we have a course called Higher Education Systems in Canada, which is a unique course that's offered to help students understand the different provincial variations of higher education within Canada, things like transfer credits, things like different, what's the difference between a college and a university and an institute, and how these vary across the territories and provinces in Canada, and to some extent in relationship to other systems in the world. Our electives then, we have current issues in higher education, 513, which permits a variety of different topics to be covered. Oftentimes these will be organized around a theme, and that theme will be known as students register for the course. And it just provides a lot of flexibility to keep abreast of the new information happening within the field. Higher Education Policy 527, International and Comparative Perspectives, is a course that looks very specifically at policy studies in higher education and ways that this is understood differently around the world. And then we have 565, which is, it's one of our department's open courses, meaning that it's a relatively new course, a pilot course. And this special topics course then changes year to year, and students will be made aware of these opportunities. Our application deadlines for 2022 are different depending on when your program start date. We've already had the application deadline for the May 2022 start date for the MEd in higher education, and the September start date for 2022, the application deadline is February 1st. For the graduate certificate in higher education, you have a little bit more time, and the deadline for that start date for September 2022 is May 15th. The entrance requirements for the graduate certificate and the MEd in higher education are identical. So you'll find more information about the what's required for the application in terms of the requirements, what kinds of, for instance, GPA you will need, or if you need to take a language requirement, language proficiency test. That information is located on our website, as well as program fees and such. There's two application portals that are different. For the MEd in higher education, these are listed here on this page. That goes through our regular graduate application portal for the university. And then there's a separate portal for the certificate that leads you to a slightly different application area, just so that you're aware of that. Our application materials, you'll have an online application form. You'll need digital copies of your transcripts, 3 letters of reference, a statement of intent that tells us a little bit more about yourself and why you're interested in studying higher education with us, and a writing sample. The writing sample can be a paper from a class you've taken in the past. It could be a professional writing piece. It could be perhaps something you've published. It could be a variety of different things. If you're not sure, feel free to send us an email and we can discuss what types of writing sample might be appropriate for your application. All of our information for our programs is available online in our department website that you'll see here at edst.ubi.ca. educ.ubc.ca. And then from there, you can go to this page, which is our higher education page that speaks specifically about the higher education programs at UBC. One thing just to note with your application is that we do require students to have had some contact with higher education studies or work experience prior to their entrance into our programs. And this can be volunteer experience as an undergraduate, for instance. Maybe you were a peer mentor, maybe you're a residence hall advisor, something like that that you can speak to. Maybe you worked in a club that did student services, those types of things. You might currently be a professional working within a higher education context. That certainly would be an appropriate level of experience that we're interested in. Things that let us know that you have a degree of understanding and familiarity with what it means to work and study higher education as a field, rather than just someone who may have obviously a bachelor's degree or have had taken some coursework on the side. So what we're looking for within our programs are a real rich variety of experiences that the students bring to the classes, and their knowledge of higher education as a field of inquiry, as a professional field of practice. Really happy to talk with you further. Our contact information is located on our website. Happy to discuss your application materials or any other questions that you might have about the programs that we offer at EDST. Looking forward to meeting you and hopefully seeing you in our programs in the following academic year. Thank you.